So let's bring in Iowa GOP Senator Chuck Grassley, ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, are you surprised that we moved on SWIFT when for the longest time we were told SWIFT is off the table? And are you pleased by that?
I am very pleased by it, and the United States is following once again, because I think countries in Europe decided that they ought to move on SWIFT, but I'm glad the United States is moving ahead, and I think that's one of the biggest sanctions that could be put to bring Russia to heel.
Right. It was last week, though, I think the White House said, you know, they didn't really expect the sanctions to work. But, Senator, you know that if these big sanctions would have happened before the invasion, it would have been easier.
Well, I have said we should have at least told Putin what we were going to do, even if we didn't put him in place, so that he would be on notice. And I think that's one of the weaknesses. The other one is getting supplies into Russia, offensive as well as defensive, to getting them into Ukraine was a shortcoming. But now it seems like Europe is moving in that direction, and the United States will surely be helping to get them all the material that they need to fight Putin. And I think the Ukrainian army and civilians that are armed are doing a good job at that. I don't think Putin's army, with 190,000 people on the border, is moving as fast as he thought. And I think it's a real embarrassment to Putin, but it should be an embarrassment to him, because there's 190 countries on the face of this earth, and not one of them was a threat to Russia, including Ukraine. And because of his ego, and maybe he's even sick, he moved ahead anyway.
Senator, your governor, Kim Reynolds, she is going to be giving the rebuttal, the Republican rebuttal, after the State of the Union address tomorrow night. I think our Fox viewers really took notice of her when she was on some town halls with Laura Ingraham. We also saw her in Texas on a town hall with Sean Hannity. What do you expect her to say tomorrow night?
Well, first of all, I'm very proud of Governor Reynolds showing the way to a lot of Democratic governors in blue states that wanted to shut down the economy to fight the virus. And she showed that she could keep the economy open and fight the virus at the same time. And we have good growth, good Treasury results, and things of that nature. And I expect her to say, to answer your question, I expect her to say Iowa has led the way, and it's about time that the federal government do the same thing, and that presidents show leadership that is something other than just shutting down the economy to fight the virus.
Right. The president did nominate his replacement for Justice Breyer's seat, Ketanji Brown Jackson, set to meet with Chuck Schumer on Wednesday, and then you guys are going to start having your committee hearings. What do you think of this nomination?
Well, just like any nomination that comes before us, we're going to take Judge Jackson's nomination, and we're going to vet it properly, as we should, and then we're going to have this open hearing. And there's plenty of time between now and the time that Justice Breyer leaves to do this job thoroughly. We intend to do it thoroughly, but I can assure you one thing: we're not going to have a comedy and a tragedy like the Democrats demonstrated to Kavanaugh. We're going to be very forthright in our questioning, but we're going to be polite, and we're not going to get down in the gutter like they did with Kavanaugh.
Yeah, we don't care what happened in high school or how many trips that she planned to the Red Sox game. We could just keep it on the courts. That'll be it'll be elevating for the whole country. Senator, always great to see you. I don't know how you're doing it, but you look younger. This Senate job must be so easy. It's not even aging you.
Well, listen, you pay me a lot of money to work hard, and I have to keep in shape to work hard.
No kidding.
All right. The great state of Iowa. Steve was born there.
I covered his first race.
Did you really?
Back in the early 80s. That's right.
Thanks, Senator.